through. And we are going live on YouTube. Remember that we have a bit of a delay.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that. Awesome. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Good to see you guys. Let's launch the Facebook thing as well.
Launching.
How's it going, everyone? Who do we have here? Oh, I'd love to see an Iris PC. Oh, we got a lot of comments. Dorian Gray, that's a good one. I know that everyone's already set up and ready for, um, you know, their rifts to be made. Hey there, Window. Hey, G1016. And EM the Anxious Dragon. How's it going? I still have to get your new show on our site. That's on my list totally. Everybody's here. That's awesome. Tux, John Voldman, Dan Pritchard. Very good. Cool. So another vote for Dorian Gray as we're chatting here. That's awesome. And we're just going to wait another minute until we're set up for everything. Kevin's working on the Facebook side of things. And meanwhile, you guys can. What do you say, Kevin? Looks pretty live. Or no?
Let's see. Live video hasn't started yet on Facebook. One moment, audience. I'm going to be a little quiet while I'm dealing with some technical issues here.
Yeah, so let's make sure that starts unlike last time. Meanwhile, I can tell you that we have some really cool things for you today. We have a hello from Canada. We have David Boaz at Rift. I thought that was a great idea. And someone had an idea of Rift of the Three Billy Goats Gruff, who are mechanically one character but act as three characters. That's really cool. Just picked up City of Mist with some friends, working getting the first campaign set up in play by post. That's awesome. And yeah, that's really cool to have everyone here. We did a series on Danger Construction Zone, and that was really cool. You guys really loved it. But this time we're doing something for the players, and we're focusing on character creation for a little short series, or not so short. We'll see. We already know that we're going to do at least 2 streams on that, and this is the first one. We're going to take a look at all of your options for character creation. We're going to create a couple of characters. We're going to be talking about some things that maybe you have not yet considered, because CDMS is such an open-ended system. Sometimes it looks like it's just like scribbling things, but actually there are different ways to create different builds in City of Mist, character builds, and different things to consider when you kind of choose your tags. And we're going to go over all of these things today in the next hour. Kevin, how's it going? Do you want me to take a shot at it from here?
Yeah, you might want to take a shot at it from here. I'm messing with it, but unfortunately, we've got the video on Facebook. We got everything going on. It's just not showing it to our audience. Let's see here.
Interesting. Let's try to hack this.
Only thing I'm getting is that the resolution is too high, but let's see.
So please bear with us a couple minutes. We're going to start real quick and real soon. I don't know what I just did. Yeah, it totally looks like there's a video, but I don't see the go live button.
That's the thing. Facebook's grabbing our video. It's just...
Okay, let me just try go automatically scheduled start time. Let's see if it's going to go live. No, it's not going on. Okay, guys, just 1 second, and we're going to start. Interesting.
Page crash for me. Love this.
Okay, so we're gonna start, and we hope that our Facebook friend Kevin, you'll be able to somehow get them on.
I'll be messing with it in the background.
Let's get started, guys. So first thing I want to do with you guys is just go over for the new people here. I know there's a lot of City of Mist veterans. For the new people here, I just want to kind of go over some of the options you have for character creation, and I'll also be doing that for the veterans who aren't familiar with some of the new options from Shadows and Showdowns. So I'm just going to go from the most, basically from the pre-gens where you totally have a pre-created character, and then I'm going to take a look at some of the newer tools that we have. So if you just, you don't want to create a City of Mist character, you can always just go to our site, go to play, under play, choose a character, and you will get a list of all the characters that you have. The free characters are in the quick start. And these are the original Salamander, Postmortem. I
love the originals.
Favorites. Yeah, a lot of people are kind of original purists, so they're like, I don't do the new ones, but I love our new ones too. And starter box characters, obviously the characters in the starter box, I'd say most of our players know those, as most of our players by now are kind of started with the starter box. So those, you can get those in the starter box. And the extra characters that you can download as PDF or as a part of the extra character pack. And these are our newer characters. And you can choose one of those, grab that, and just start playing. We also have another one coming up. Kevin, I'm not sure you know about this, but the same creator that created Scarlet has created a new character based on Hecate, the Greek goddess of crossroads and magic.
Oh, I cannot wait for that. That's awesome.
And it's a kid. So this new one is coming up soon on City of Mist, but this is just a little taste. We're not actually here to talk about pre-created characters. We're here to talk about how to create characters. So one of the most, quick tools that you have in order to create characters with City of Mist is actually something we added later in the expansion. And what it does is kind of quickly build a character for you from pre-selected tags. So as you all know, City of Mist, maybe some of you don't know that, but characters are built out of 4 themes. Some of them are mythos, some of them are logos, and in each theme you have your power tags. We're going to be filling this out soon with one of our next characters. But this is just kind of like a little preview in order to share with you the new rapid character creation content that is in Shadows and Showdowns. So we are talking about Chapter 1 of Shadows and Showdowns, aka If Dreams Could Kill. You will find this rapid character creation there. And with this rapid character creation, all you have to do to create a City of Mist character, let's say you have a... people are like, yay, Child Rift responding to Hecate that's coming out soon.
In my personal experience, whenever I tell, whenever I'm trying to, get someone into a game, if I can tell them, yeah, in this game you can play like a kid, or in this game you can play as a dog, that always, gets their eyes, really big. Oh, hey, that's new.
People really love it. So, okay, now that we're fully started, guys, just a quick introduction. I'm Amit Moshe. I'm the creator of City of Mist. I am joined by by Kevin Carpenter, who is the MC. First of all, he's our presenter and he does a lot of the cool videos on YouTube that you'll love. And secondly, Kevin, you are the MC of Odd Loot, Rolling in the Mist.
Yep.
And I
The Rolling in the Mist podcast by the group Odd Loot, AWD Loot. Definitely check it out if you're looking for a wild ride adventure of people who are still learning the rules as they go. Thankfully, I've gotten a bit better at that. Doing a season of a podcast will do that for you. And we're also working on a season 2 right now. But, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about making some really cool characters in City of Mist. Am I right?
Yep, absolutely. But you should definitely grab Rolling in the Mist when you can and when the next season comes out. So back to rapid character creation. We have, this thing is on Shadows and Showdowns. Let's say you have a game tonight and you have to really whip up a character real quick. It's very, very fast. You choose your mythos, and you all have suggested many, many mythoi for today's stream. So that is reasonably, usually it's something that people have pretty easy. You choose a noir trope, one of these tropes, and depending on whether your character has 1, 2, or 3 logos, you immediately can grab an occupation theme, a personal feature, and some kind of accessory or companion NPC. And with those new theme kits, I'm going to show you in a minute. These are the Mythos theme kits. You can super quick construct a character. I think I flew a little bit too far down there. Let's go back to the Logos theme kits.
Well, let's see. Do you have that on your browser? Oh.
No, it's on a thing. So
okay, cool.
It's on a PDF reader.
Cool.
And Logos theme kits, noir tropes, you can see them here. And we're actually going to use the rapid character creation right now to create our first character, which is going to be the one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So
which horseman are we going with?
I think we'll go with Pestilence. I can do Famine if you want, but I think Pestilence is pretty cool. And I just grabbed a photo or an image rather, a piece of art that someone made on DeviantArt. Douglas Solis, I think, made this, and we have Pestilence as the logo. So the first character we're going to create today, we're going to use it. We're going to build it with the rapid character creation, and in that case we're just going to do something super straightforward, and I'm just going to show you how to use it, and then we'll get into more customized stuff and talking a little bit about different tags and how you use them. So guys, what do you think, everyone on the channels, what do you think is what do you think should be the logos of? We already have a mythos. We know it's going to be the Pestilence, Rider of the Apocalypse, or Horseman of the Apocalypse. What are we going to choose for their logos? And we're going to do that from the list of giving in rapid character creation. So I guess the first vote is to decide how powerful this character is going to be, or how legendary. So are they going to be a touched person that only has 1 mythos and 3 logos? Are they going to be a borderline 2, or are they going to be a legendary, super powerful on the mythos side, but kind of maybe a little superficial on the human side? So
let's see.
I see already things coming in. Pestilence is an exterminator. That's kind of awesome. I like that.
I appreciate like a Dale Gribble like person of someone who's an exterminator and just loves their job. Just
totally. So, but because we're doing it in a rapid character creation, I kind of want from this list. So we have attorney at law, beat officer, bounty hunter, blue collar worker, cat burglar, crime lord, detective, doctor, getaway driver, hobo, homemaker, journalist. This is actually not the last version of this book. There are things that we corrected here. What do you guys think? Mercenary, retired citizen,
So
socialite.
So real quick right now, the Amit is looking into the like the logos, like archetypes that are within like the player's guide. A lot of really cool like resources for you guys to check out. Right now, we still got the art of the Horseman of the Apocalypse there, Pestilence on the stream. I mean, we're the stream is only able to see what you have on your browser. That
Okay.
said, you
I'm
should be
not
able to
sure
open
why.
up, if you have Google Chrome, you should be able to open up photos in the browser by dragging them onto the browser window tabs at the top.
Sure, I can try that so everyone can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. Just a second, guys. Look at that. I think what I need to do is a little different. So just a second, guys. We have a little bit of tech issue here. I think what I need to do, Kevin, is just change what I'm sharing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop
Alrighty.
sharing. And I'm going to reshare.
Un momento, everyone.
And you can just kind of like snip it to the right size. Yep, here we go. There we go. You should be able now to see what in the heck I'm talking about. So, great. Is this good, Kevin? Can you see it?
Can you? You're sharing your full screen, so if you can minimize your Discord, that should then I can mess around with that. You're sharing everything that's on your screen though currently.
No, that's not really working for us today because it was supposed to share only the second screen. But never mind that.
Let's see, what other logos am I seeing in the chat here? Doctor,
Hey,
drug
what are you
dealer,
getting
horse
now?
vet. Someone put a Jackie. I'm with M, the Anxious Dragon here. What is a Jackie?
Kevin, what are you getting now?
We're still seeing your full screen there, Meet.
Not sure why it's doing both screens, but we're gonna stop it. So, okay, let me switch over to that screen, and that's gonna be a little more simple.
Stable man. Oh, okay. Learned something new. There we go. Now we're seeing it.
No better?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. So we'll stick to those. I don't know if it's gonna switch between them. I'll have to switch. But this is where you can see the rapid character creation for Shadows and Showdowns. So step one, you choose a legendary archetype. We did that, Pestilence. Step two, we choose a noir trope. And we got a lot of doctor, homemaker. What else have we got here? A bunch of things that we can choose. You guys are politician, an epidemiologist, a little too close for comfort. Okay, so we got a lot of borderline suggestions. So we're gonna make it a 2 Mythos, 2 Logos character, and you got some great ideas there. But with the first one, we're definitely gonna go with something more straightforward, more simple. Let's say you have a game tonight and you want to whip up a character. So why don't we go with Pestilence and a Doctor, which is kind of a nice balance, nice contrast. And we have Doctor and we have the Mythos of Pestilence. So guys, in step two, the second thing we're gonna want to do is choose another kind of feature, a personal feature for this doctor. So which one do you choose out of the following? 15 minutes of fame, alcoholic, charmer, debt, hard-boiled, I killed someone, maybe a little bit of guilt, maybe they killed someone with their pestilence powers, loss of a loved one, martial artist, or single parent.
See, a lot of those are rough,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't said he missed. It's noir.
It's noir. It's not. We're not here to play. We're not here to have fun.
We're not here to have fun. We're here to have serious times in our city.
Very serious time. Okay, Handyman says charmer. So this doctor is also a charmer, but he's
Oh,
also the embodiment of
wait,
pestilence.
wait, wait, hang on. DeLong John Silver put debtor for his medical school loans.
Maybe also a little too close to home, but let's see.
Let's see, we're getting
Um,
murder and debt are pretty much the big ones showing up in the chat right
Debt,
now.
murder, debt, murder, debt, murder. Okay,
Debt,
guys,
murder,
let's do
debt, murder.
debt. Let's do debt. That's pretty much the tropes of. Okay, so we have this. So we already know that this character has the following themes, right? We know that they have a doctor, which is a training theme, and we know that they have debt, which is a struggle theme. And they also get two themes from their pestilence. You have a list of legendary archetypes that you can kind of slot pestilence into and get the power set. So we're gonna go with maybe creature of darkness, and then we'll get the life drain set, which I think is really good. We can also go with a little bit, because they're writers of the apocalypse, underworld goddess, god or goddess. So speak to the dead. Maybe that's more death. Isn't death one of the writers?
Yeah, the four riders, and this is actually interesting because it changes over time. But the four riders are war, famine, pestilence, and death. And what's
Yeah.
interesting is that pestilence is actually the one that changes the most over time. Sometimes it's
The-
pestilence, sometimes it's pollution. There's actually one bit where it's just wild animals. Like literally during the apocalypse, it's, you will be
yeah.
hit with war, death, famine, and also wild animals. They're just gonna mess with
Yeah.
your stuff.
Yeah, that sounds pretty biblical. Awesome. So we're gonna go with the creature of darkness, and technically, when you want to quick create a character, you're just gonna take those two mythos themes from here: life drain and fighting prowess. However, because it is the writer of the apocalypse, I will say, why don't we go for Steed, which is
We
another set? What do you think?
he has to have it has to have some sort of ride. A
This guy,
car, a
this guy,
motorcycle, maybe even an actual horse. Like they have to be on something.
totally, totally, totally. So again, we are kind of forcing this into this rapid character creation just to show you guys how fast you can create a character. So basically, this character is going to be made out of the theme kits, right? They're already ready. All the tags are ready. All you have to do is pick out a tag. So what I want to show you guys is we're going to start with the life drain, which is it's kind of under the title of Steel Life Force here, because this was pre all the corrections we did for the print run. So you see this here, this is the one that we're getting, and all you got to do is just pick out your themes. You get the first one. This guy has drain life force. You can change it a little bit, but basically pestilence, you can infect someone with disease and drain their life force. And then you get to choose two more tags. So it's feed off life force, penetrate armor and hide, stronger at night. Stronger at night doesn't feel right here, but definitely feed off life force. You know, the more pestilence, the more death there is around you, the stronger you get. What else do you think, guys? What else should we have? Drain physical strength. That could be something.
I feel like something with like boils or pustules should be there, like some sort of like gross kind of pestilence.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
let's see.
So
Let's
you
look in
can
chat.
totally tweak those tags. We're not going to make up new tags for this. You can totally
Oh yeah.
tweak those tags and make them into what you want, but you have like the foundation to quickly create the theme. Then you can go to Steed, which is the other one that we were discussing, a magical steed. And then you have powerful riding beast, hooved kick, loyal steed. Maybe not the most thing for Riders of the Apocalypse, or maybe it is. Ride like the wind. And of course, you can change these to tweak them to pestilence. And and on the logo side of things, you can grab what we said. You can grab Doctor, and you can grab debt. So conveniently, they're on the same page. In debt, you
Imagine
take
that.
talk my talk my way out of trouble, which is kind of like maybe the first tag that you get, and then you can perseverance, keep my dignity, a bunch of things that are relevant. And doctor, you get the tags for Doctor. So this is really how the rapid character creation works. You just literally pick out ready-made sets, and out of those, pick out the tags. They already come with identity. And as we construct this character, you can be done in 10 minutes if you wanted to create a super. Yeah, definitely. Peppa says hungry steed, hungry and probably totally contaminating wherever it goes.
I love Windows'
Um,
suggestion in the chat. Better around trash, so he becomes really strong around a garbage dump. That's one way you could flavor the tag, the Mythos tag we saw earlier, like better at night instead of better at night, better around trash.
yeah, better where it's polluted, better where it's unclean. Definitely, I think these all are working. So this is just a quick we're just quickly taking a look at some of those tools that you have for rapid character creation. We also have a set of character tropes that you can use, and I'm just gonna quickly take a look at that. And this is here on our. So on the this is on the core book, and Kevin, just let me know if you can see it.
Yep, we can see
This is
everything.
on.
And by the way, earlier you said that this was sort of like an earlier draft of like the PDF, right? With some of the, still the work being put into it.
Yeah.
So that's some really interesting audiences that during these streams you might see some like behind the scenes stuff with City of Mist.
Well, yeah, you've
Yeah.
already seen Hecate, so you know what's
Yeah.
coming. Totally. So if you guys don't know the player guide also have a bunch of mythos tropes, which are sets of themes that you can already pick out. If you have a magic sword, it's a relic, but it can also be nation or bastion. If you are a creature of darkness, you can have expression of devouring souls or subversion, manipulating shadows, and so on and so forth. Those cards really help you construct your character rapidly. The other two ways of building a character is building a character with theme books, which we're going to do next. And don't forget, you can always go freestyle if your MC is, happy to do that, happy to accommodate that. You can always just like come up with the tags, and we're going to talk about what tags do and what MCs need to watch out for, what players need to watch out for when you're creating tags for next character.
Mm-hmm.
Next character, Kevin, what was the second most popular request you got? What do you think?
Oof. I'd say the second most popular is probably Sun Wukong, the Monkey King.
Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. Bring him up on the screen. So Sun Wukong is pretty awesome.
There he is.
There are so many like beautiful illustrations of Sun Wukong. I just love this character.
Mm-hmm.
And this one we're going to really build out. We're going to go a little deeper into what tags do, what tags don't do. We're going to use the theme books, and we're going to take all of your suggestions. So get ready with your keyboards to kind of give your suggestions on that one.
Now,
I love this character. Have you read Journey to the West? It's kind of like this guy is crazy. It's like he's almost a villain, but not quite. More like a trickster.
He's a trickster. Like he's pretty much like the epitome of that like mythological term. For those who are unaware of the story of the Monkey King, he is basically a monkey that got into so many shenanigans that he attained, godlike powers, erased his name from the Book of Death. Like he pretty much became a god just by tricking a bunch of people. And then about halfway through his story, he gets curb stomped by Buddha, trapped under a mountain, and then
Buddha palm.
Exactly. And then the actual journey to the west begins when the Monkey King is given a crown that that basically he has to escort a monk across the lands in order to get these sacred scrolls. And if he doesn't, the crown will shrink and hurt him. And it's basically it's inspired Dragon Ball. It is one of the quintessential just adventure stories. But the Monkey King himself is a big old monkey with a lot of superpowers and no restraint.
Absolutely no restraints except for that
except for the crown.
headband or crown. Yeah, totally. So we have both that crown and and his staff as relic theme kits in Shadows and Showdowns. So in the crown is a sweatband in City of Mist, and I forget I forget what the staff is. You could get someone to make you the staff. I think one of the characters in Shadows and Showdowns. Yeah, he does save his monk pal 27 times. So now, what do we want this guy to be in City of Mist? And this time we have the full breadth of choices. We're not doing a rapid character creation. So what do you guys think? The Monkey King could be anything. It could really be anything. Kevin, do you have any ideas?
Well, where do we want to start with first? Do we want to start with like a logos? Do we want to start with mythos, or do we want to start with like, touched, borderline, or legendary?
Well, that's a great question. I think once we know, yeah, the answer is how many logos in those themes, but also what is the concept for the logo. So
Hmm.
let's see what our viewers are coming up.
Let's see.
Relic for his pull. Okay, someone's already building the character. Mailman Sun Wukong. Oh, I love that. The mailman so far. I love. A ruffian thinking of dropping out of high school. School kid, legendary. A courier, alcoholic. Yeah, there's definitely a kind of he's been portrayed also as one of those drunken
Hmm.
masters kind of thing. So that could be really cool. A mailman Korean sounds cool. Okay, guys, so we have a mailman, and he's Sun Wukong because he's got to kind of like escort these scrolls to wherever,
Oh yeah,
and so that's pretty cool. I really like that.
and of course his
Okay,
his
we're
route
gonna
is
go
on the
with
west
that.
side. It's on the west
His
side of the
what?
city. His route is on the west side of the city.
Of course, and he has to go all the way on a big,
Oh
big journey.
man.
Awesome. So let's take a look at a couple of theme books that we're going to choose for this guy. Um, he's a mailman. What would you say is? I mean, he has so many powers. There's a lot of invulnerability going on there. A lot of what would you say was his most prominent feature that we want to bring? Like the one mythos theme that we're not going to do without.
Ooh.
So
With the Monkey King, I'll just say my own thoughts while chat goes crazy. Um, th- for me
get ready.
the Monkey King, like, he has a bunch of different powers. He has super strength, he has shape shifting, all that. But I think like the two most prominent things, like you can slap on a stick figure and be like, that's the Monkey King, are his staff and his cloud. So I think like either like a relic kind of thing for his staff, or like a mobility kind of thing for not only his cloud but also maybe his like jumping around the city or whatever. Fun fact, by the way, a big thing, a thing that happens all the time in Journey to the West is the Monkey King just jumps across the world to talk to a god or grab something he forgot. And since the entire story is him escorting someone across the land by foot, it becomes very funny whenever he just jumps to another nation real quick.
Yeah. Can he just grab the other guy and jump over? I don't know. So people are saying, yeah, immortal subversion. He needs his cloud. People are saying totally the extendable pull, angering the gods. The staff is one of the biggest elements. So yeah, we can definitely start with and some people are saying that he has to have
Oh,
subversion, which is the theme for trickery, basically, and all of those shape shifting things. Yeah, definitely trickery is a thing. Let's see, jumps higher than the clouds. We also have a mobility theme in there, and we have the staff. Well, the beauty with with playing rifts is that rifts are often a mixture of their legendary and ordinary, as you guys know, which means that not all of the legendary features have to start at the beginning. Imagine starting as a mailman that flies on clouds and then or has some kind of ability to go clouds. Maybe it's a truck, but then later down the line, you flip a theme, you replace a theme, and Kevin's on a video on that. And you you get that badass staff, as like your new Mythos theme. That could be very cool. So we're gonna have a little fight here about what's going to be kind of like the middle themes, whether it's going to be legendary, borderline, or touched. Let's get started. Let's get started with kind of maybe. Let's actually get started with his routine of a mailman.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we're good, but we're not really. We didn't crack it, guys. So think about a twist. Think about something that makes it a little bit more, interesting than just a mailman.
I'm sorry.
What have you got?
I'm sorry, I just laughed out loud. I saw Will Steiner's suggestion in the chat. He should jump everywhere with the exception of delivering his mail, which he does in his regular old mail truck. Like when he does his job, he has to stay on the ground. Anytime else, he can just jump.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Okay, let's do this. So, let's bring up the first theme book, which is Routine. Let's
see. The staff could be an extendable package, like one of those poster tubes. Thank you, DeLong John Silver, for the mental image of a mailman Monkey King just hitting someone with like a poster tube, like everyone does as soon as they have a poster tube in their hands.
I like the poster tube thing.
Yeah, those little cardboard tubes. Like, I'm growing up with, like my siblings. Every time we get one of those, like it's pretty much like first one who has it, it gets the power of flunk. Let's see.
Okay, trying to bring it up.
Sun Wukong can see through the disguises of demons in the book. Yeah, that is another like weird thing he can do. Granted, though, like Sun Wukong being able to see through disguises of demons, I don't remember if it's like ever actually like truly useful in the story. Because almost all the time it's like Sun Wukong says, "Hey, this starving beggar on the side of the street is a demon. Don't get close." And everyone's like, "What? No, he's a starving beggar. Monkey King, you're always playing tricks." And there are demons.
Okay, so routine. Let's talk a little bit about creating those logos tags, right? So what do we got here? Routine. The first question is, what do you do with your time? That's pretty straightforward. It's kind of like a wide tag that you can use to just say mailman, and then whenever being a mailman, you get that. So I'm just going to put that down in his routine theme, and I'll show it to you at the end. Routine mailman is his first thing. What about what other tags do you think would be interesting to get for him? What privileges come with the territory of being a man? Do you guys think? What sort of tools? I'm totally putting like a UPS van there. What do you think, Kevin? I mean, I wanted to drive it around the story.
Yeah, I really like that suggestion of like, he jumps around for all of his other stuff, but he still drives the van to like deliver the mail. I mean, because that also like makes sense. Like, imagine you're the one postal worker on your route who gets your route done in like 5 minutes. That's going to cause some questions, even with the mist covering you up.
Yeah, it's true. It's quite unusual, quite supernatural. Too much for the mist to take.
Mm-hmm.
See-through trick. He knows everyone on his. Yeah, that's useful. So when you guys are setting up tags, to ask the most basic question is, how am I going to use this in the narrative? Okay, so here's number one tip. You want to ask, how am I going to use this in the narrative? Am I going to use this in an investigation? Am I going to use this in an action? Am I going to use this, in a social dialogue or kind of like conflict? So you really want to be asking these questions with every tag that you go. So he lovingly names his truck Nimbus. I like that window.
Aww.
Definitely. It's still logos. Truck is still normal unless it just kind of transforms at some point. But yeah, we can definitely have a UPS van called Nimbus. and and we want something that helps them with it helps him with his investigation. So we got a suggestion here for knowing everyone on his route. Just kind of like literally having contacts, knows his route. So that could be a really good question. This could be something based on um, what did you learn on your daily activities, stuff like that.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
there's
so this is pretty straightforward.
And speaking of investigation and all that, we were talking about how Sun Wukong has a ton of powers, and you were talking earlier about like, you don't need everything when you initially create the character because it's City of Mist. Characters grow, they gain new powers,
Yeah.
they replace themes. User Window earlier in the chat had a suggestion. There is the theme improvement, which allows you to select a divination power tag. So, with stuff where it's like, Sun Wukong had the minor power of being able to see through demon disguises. If it's like, if you have a power that doesn't really fit with like a theme book, or if it's just like one thing, you can use like theme improvements, because like almost every theme book has like a theme improvement where you can like take a tag from another theme.
Yeah,
Um,
let's take a look at that.
yeah,
That's really important. So you could just, yeah, on your next improvement, you can grab a theme improvement that allows you to access other theme books. So you don't even have to super narrow it down. For example, why I do this in this theme book, routine allows you to grab something from training, mission, or defining relationship that kind of reflects the background of your. So yeah, this is definitely a thing. Totally a good point. Um, the other thing I want to kind of take a look at is bring up the theme as it's created now, and we're going to talk about a weakness tag in a minute. But one thing that we could talk about is how tags stack. So this is something a lot of new players aren't actually aware of when creating their character. So can everybody, Kevin?
yep.
Great. So we still need a kind of a cool name for his routine theme. You guys can think about that. How exactly are we going to name his routine theme? But the tags are basically mailman, UPS van, Nimbus, and knows his route. And there are two ways you can kind of create your tags when you're creating a character. You can go for versatility, or you can go for specialization. So, and there's a kind of a middle. What's the difference between them? The more you take tags that are kind of separate and different and cover different things, like for example, UPS Van Nimbus is probably an action. It's going to be an action tag, right? I mean, mostly it's about getting places in time, probably ramming into something with the van. It's definitely an action tag. Maybe getting away in time.
Or a sneak around if you're trying to like, it's a mail van. You can put a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, it's just totally ordinary, nothing happening. I just off. So that's going to be an action one, an action slash. It doesn't have to be a conflict. What do we get there?
I've
Journey
seen
to the post box.
Journey to the West Side, Westward Bound, Journey to the Post Box, through sleet or snow. Through sleet or snow would be a great name for like a postman mission theme, I think. Like if you're
Yeah.
like if you're creating a character who is like super dedicated to being a postman, through sleet or snow would be an awesome theme. That said, I don't think a postman mission would be great for a Sun Wukong like rift, because if there was anything Sun Wukong hated, it was going on this journey to the west.
Yeah, it's a mission. I mean, his mission. He totally hated it. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, definitely let's take Westward Bound. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So going back to tags, you want to kind of have tags for different things. UPS Van Nimbus, that's fine. And Noah's route usually is going to be some kind of investigation, finding out things, learning detail, learning information. But mailman can actually be for both of them. As a mailman, I know how to drive a van, route, and they're kind of almost like kind of derivatives of mailman. It's kind of a broad tag, but it's not super broad because, how many times is it going to be useful to be a mailman? So as you know, when you're going to actually you're going to be able to stack these tags. You're actually going to have +1 for, +2 for both of these things. Because when you're going to make a move with van, you can also invoke mailman, part of your skill to be using that, especially if you're sneaking around to be pretending to be a mailman. And if you are going to try and find out something with route, you're going to use mailman as well. So you're going to have +2 with both of these actions. Now, if you chose something completely different, like if you chose number 1 to be something social, right? Like I don't know, what you got in mind, Kevin? What kind of social skills do mailmen have?
Nose's route is pretty much the big social one. But that said, if you want to start with a social skill, I would say just morning neighbor, just like one like the quote tags.
Yeah, morning neighbor, or something like your deliveries.
Or if you wanted to make it a combat tag, great aim. Throw the newspapers.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you have great aim, because you're a mailman. So here we went for versatility. We have great aim, we have UPS Van Nimbus, we have Nose's route, but each one of these are only going to give you a +1 power when you play, right? Because they're not going to stack very often. So when you build these themes, you want to choose, you want to ask yourselves, how many of these things can I stack together? Is it too narrow? Am I only good with one thing? Like Mythos has 5 tags or sometimes more that he can stack in combat because he's that kind of character. But then, his investigation skills are a little lower. His social skills are a little, less evolved because so many of his tags are combat. So this is kind of the trade-off between versatility, spreading out your tags, and specialization, getting your tags to stack in certain actions. So we're going to do something in the middle where we have a tag that's kind of broad, and then we'll have little specializations of that. So whenever he drives the van, Sun Wukong will have +2 at least from this. And whenever he's asking around about route, let's go to the weakness tags.
Some of the weakness tags I've seen in the chat. Get stuck in traffic for 6,000 years. That's funny. I don't see that being used in a game quite often. I think that's a one and done kind of weakness tag. But I do love it.
That's more like a tier 6 status.
I've also
goodbye character.
That's you face off against the avatar of Buddha, and you're stuck in traffic. That's it.
Calms you totally.
There was one I saw scared of dogs.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some of those questions or answers. What do people have? Joe the mailman?
Someone put scared of dogs, which understandable, mailman.
I like that.
Easily distracted. That kind of fits with the Monkey King bit.
Yeah, we can have it on one of his mythos. He can use papers like the staff and jump high, knows all the ladies on the road. Oh, that's a weakness tag.
Leaning into the some of the 1950s mailman.
Yeah, or is that the milkman? But never mind.
Oh, that was the milkman. You're right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what are you left with? What are the mundane limits? Yeah, pretty much what are the mundane limits or downsides of your routine? Fear, is afraid of dogs or fear of dogs.
We mentioned earlier in the chat, the mundane limits or downsides of your routine has to deliver mail by van.
Yeah, that can totally be that. We can limit it to that, when he has mail to by van.
Actually, that kind of goes along with what I said earlier, though. How much would that come up? Like, how much in your game is your character going to be like delivering mail versus, like when a mystery comes up, is your character going to be delivering mail? Because that's another thing to keep in mind, Chad, is like these weakness tags are, they're -1 to your rolls, but also they're one of your primary ways of, advancing, facing your
Yeah,
weaknesses and growing stronger.
yeah,
So you
absolutely.
do want something that's not going to affect your every move, because one, that's just going to be a constant downer and it's kind of going to lose its dramatic impact. But you do want a weakness tag that you can invoke every now and then. You do want it to be something that your character is struggling with, especially if you want those sweet level ups.
Totally. So someone offered his boss at the postal annex is a Jade Emperor. I like that. I like that.
One one of the
um,
one of the things in the Monkey King's tale, before he actually went on the journey to the west, he got super powerful, and the rest of the gods were like, okay, let's just give him a job that'll keep him busy. So they made him the stable master, and he hated it, and of course, the Monkey King made the situation even worse. So I love a Jade boss who's constantly on his butt.
yeah. So I just put Jade Delivery's boss,
Jade
and that's going to
deliveries.
be that's gonna be the yeah. I love. We're gonna go with that. That kind of slots into who or what can interfere with the routine. Definitely the Jade Emperor. Cool, awesome guys. So we already have a theme.
Oh, you cut out there.
Um,
Me, can you say that again?
I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. So I just said that that kind of wraps up our more Earthbound Logos theme. And now let's go over to the Mythos theme, the first Mythos theme, which I kind of feel has to be Subversion. I agree with you said that the Monkey King without Subversion or mobility isn't really the Monkey King. I totally love the rod that he uses, but he's really not going to be without his trickery. He's
Hmm.
not going to be in some martial arts and a rod, and you know, so that's where you get like 100 tags.
Alrighty.
When you have this situation where you have a lot of um, what you can do is you can make them into tags, into subtags, into that theme, and that's going to later, if you evolve that tag into a full theme, you can replace that tag. So we actually have a rule for it somewhere in the book. If you're evolving a tag into something else, you can replace that tag into sorry, if you're evolving a tag into a theme, you can change it in the original theme where it was. So that's a good way to solve a situation where you want like to have all the features of the house, but you don't have enough tag themes to do it. So Subversion, we have some names: Immortal or 72 transformations. I like the idea of 72 transformations. Cloning, shapeshifting, seeing through disguises. Shutage be identical clones. He can confuse people as yeah, I totally like that. EM the Anxious Dragon. So yeah, let's give him 72 transformations with being identical clones. See if I can do that. Just grabbed it right off the chat here.
Oh, make
And
sure
the
to put an
first
N
tag,
after the A there. The first A.
transformation. And we're gonna go with identical clones. I like that it's kind of more fine tuning than because if you just say cloning, you're gonna okay. So I clone all of my friends. It starts to become pretty wide. I can clone objects. I can really clone, like genetically clone. It's you want to kind of like define things a little bit more, you know, tightly, but then also you get more creative with the
Hmm.
game. Um,
That said, remember you do get one broad theme per character.
Broad tag, yeah,
Yeah, broad tag,
definitely.
not broad theme.
You do get that, so you can, if you wanted, cloning to be, uh, your thing, and you wanted it to be a super broad tag, that's fine. So we have identical clones of me. Let's pop over and take a look at Subversion and see what they have for us there. So we're going to Subversion. And the first question is, what is the principal ability you use to mask or hide your action?
Identical
Clone.
clones, shooting them around during combat.
We have B, too many targets. Too many targets. Oh, you're saying that. Okay, so EM, the Anxious Dragon, is how do you use your power to distract others? By giving them too many targets. Okay, so that is a clear, face danger tag, basically, because someone's going to give you a status like perforated or something with a machine gun, and you're going to be like, nope, I have too many targets. So I like that. That is kind of like, even though Subversion is about sneaking around, this is an option to, let's just put all that stuff down there and then just choose out of that. So in the Anxious Dragon says too many targets, which is a defensive tag. So this is another thing, you guys.
I can see that tag being used in a sneak around kind of thing as well. Like, let's say someone's trying to spot you in a crowd or like try to tail you. Suddenly it's like, okay, I've got someone following me. You go down a hallway and then suddenly clone there, clone there, clone there, clone there. Like you're trying to get away.
Totally. And it would be interesting because they wouldn't know where you went really, but they would know it's you. It's an interesting kind of sneak around to play through. Totally unique in this character. I really like it. Windows says everywhere all at once. So yeah, because he can actually use any one of those clones. It's still him. He can use them. He can be them. He can act as them. So that's another really kind of like wacky tag that that can get you some interesting things.
Light animations brings up a good point. Are they physical clones or illusions? Because then we have two tags that are about running away or facing danger, pretty much just setting off these illusionary clones. But for this third tag, do we want to specialize in more sneaking around, illusion kind of stuff? Or do we want our third tag to be something combat based, like giving them some sort of physical punch?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good question. What do you guys think? What other tags see for the subversion theme of Sun Wukong? The cool thing about it is, you start out from subversion and then you really get a really broad set of skills and tags that you can use if you're creative in different situations. You don't have to necessarily stick to the concept of the theme. So someone says, I would say animal.
Ooh. The chat is kind of going into more of the shape-shifting into animals kind of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely something we can also have. So what do you best undercover? Secrecy, who is most likely to fall prey, right? Like who's going to fall for it? How does operating secretly allow you to leak information? Who are you in league with? What is unlikely to affect you? What circumstances or conditions improve your ability? And what other tangential subversive power have you developed? That could definitely be our shape-shifting. Again, shape-shifting not super broad, but pretty broad. Can be used in many ways. If you start shape-shifting to objects and items and tools and animals and people, it starts to get almost on the verge of very broad. Can't have. So you're gonna have to maybe use that with change the game to create a tag of a specific shape. just to kind of break it down and make it switch it from very broad to broad. Yeah, let's take a look at other some of the options. He needs something for his verbal trickery. We have a lot of options here. He was a great warrior, great sage. Yeah, we have There's really no end to it. But let's try and tap into some of the weakness tags. So for the subversion specifically, Kevin, what do you think? What could expose you? I think that's a great question.
I think it's like one hit. Sometimes with like the shadow clones, you hit them once and then they like poof out. Of course, most of this knowledge is coming from Naruto, another anime with with some inspired by the Journey to the West.
Yeah. But what conceptually exposes the Monkey King? Who can see through his crap, basically?
Well, let's see. Well, Buddha could, of course, see through his crap. He was pretty much the only god who could. That said, with the clones themselves, I think it's almost less of like an external thing, like who specifically can look through his crap, and more of a like internal thing. Like the Monkey King was a very like cocky, like aggressive kind of guy. Like normally what made the like he would come into the skies a lot, but normally the jig was up when someone started like talking trash about the Monkey King, and he would just change his face and be like, "Hey."
Yeah. So I should just basically get him to expose himself. That's a great one. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys also said very immature and cocky. I think that that is really cool. If someone can get you to expose yourself just by kind of like mocking you. I think that's a really cool one. So that would be D, which is whoops, lost it there. What disadvantages, psychological tendencies have you developed in shadows or behind your mask or something like that?
Someone put super ego.
Yeah,
Someone, Gregory Small.
Hothead, super ego, overly confident.
Yeah, I think the chat's kind of united on that front.
I think we got the gist of it. Cool, guys. So you can see this coming along. We can definitely whip up. Let's do kind of like a power burst on those last two themes. So first vote. What is the next Mythos theme that you guys would like to have on this character?
So once again, for those who are unaware of the Monkey King storyline, not only does he have like the clones and shape-shifting powers, he also has super strength, immortality. Let's see, he has his like mobility of like jumping around in this cloud. Although we got his UPS van for Nimbus, he has the staff that can like change sizes. He can see through demons. God, he has a lot of superpowers now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, it's pretty much like you could have like 10 themes to cover all of his power sets.
If there was ever an avatar of Sun Wukong, that would be terrifying.
Yeah. The question is, what would be his agenda? Just like mess with everyone in the city forever? Well, I think that's a pretty cool one.
It's pretty much just like mess with everyone, or like take on all comers. I don't think the avatar of the Monkey King would last long, because he would just run up to like the most other powerful avatars in the city and start fighting them.
Like prodding them. Yeah.
Anatoly, come on, man, come on outside.
Totally.
All right.
So what have we got? We got staff is a relic. We got they want to do personality for Logos, mobility for his jumping, mobility, cloud. He totally has a bit of everything. Because he has his van, let's keep the potential of the van turning a cloud at some point into a mobility theme. Let's try to do his staff. Okay. I think it's called, there's something like a
Magic golden hoop.
Golden hooped poster tube. So it's not just any poster. He has the golden hooped poster tube. And
You only get the
quickly,
golden
guys,
hooped
let
poster.
me
You only
pull
get the
that up.
golden hooped poster tube if you order first class. That's same day delivery right there.
Totally. Okay, so we're gonna pull up Relic one, and let's quickly kind of blast through this as you're already getting the hang of it. Now let's try to think of tags that stack. Let's give him some punch with that thing. Um, Tags that can really stack together and give you that 3-4, 3-4 power when you're hitting with all of stuff like that. So let's see. Sleepers see it as a poster tube, which is just an hilarious visual. Yeah, I love that idea. What is the main useful feature or part of your relic? What do you guys can say about this poster tube? Is it unbreakable? Is it something you can just like hit someone and it's actually yeah, I agree. Like extending, that's a big deal. That's something. It's definitely a feature, the main feature of this thing. Okay, what else? Let's put first tag A is going to be extending.
Let's
Can it
see.
extend to any length? Because it's like, woo, can it just
It can pretty much extend to any length, I think, in the original story. I mean, here's the thing: most of the time, like if he ever needed like to cover a large distance, he would just jump. But there are story like it used to be a pillar. Like I think it was that was the original like origin of that pole was it was a pillar he just took from a god's place. Uh, what else is everyone saying in the chat? Change of size, attack from range.
yeah,
Maybe.
we're
Ooh, jo I, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name, so I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So sorry if I mangle it. Joel Vitter. Maybe he could have a toothpick that is secretly his staff. That was another thing about the pole is he would turn it into like a toothpick behind his ear. So whenever he used it in battle, he would just like this and then staff.
okay, cool. So change length and size. He can totally play with it, hide it. Um,
Willowbird put pole vaulting.
what's that?
Pole
Oh, pole
vaulting.
vaulting. Yeah, absolutely.
That would be
Yeah. So
question B. Name another way in which you use the same feature.
let's do this. Pole vaulting. So interesting. So these things totally start to stack as an action movement thing, which I really like. Um, what else have we got? As long as the deep of the sea, extremely heavy and unbreakable, unless it's not duplicated into lesser copies.
Mm.
Yeah. Reminds me of Jeremiah from Misconceptions. Oh, we got Misconceptions fans here.
Misconceptions.
Okay, so yeah. How about change weight?
Hmm. Now I'm
Uh,
imagining a like Thor scene. This postman just puts it on
yeah.
the ground after a job well done, forgot to change the weight, crashes through the wooden floor.
Yeah, that's cool. So, what about a weakness tag for the staff people? What do you think?
Weakness tag. Ooh.
Weakness tag. Let's see what he has there.
Lost in delivery.
What is the most troublesome shortcoming of your relic? I would say like accidental, accidental change. Something happens, it extends all of a sudden, it becomes super heavy, and then they have to make a roll to take it, kind of like take it back. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we have the usual tag that when you're doing something, you apply the weakness tag, but there's also of use tags as flaws, which means that the MC makes a hard move and you get 1 XP. So, for example, in the middle of a conversation, loving, all of a sudden, your golden hooped poster tube becomes, I don't know, 100, 300 pounds heavy, and you kind of just like kind of get glued to the floor. Or I can think of other things that could happen. but
Or like
they're not put here.
another postal worker is trying to move it, but you're not there to change its weight, so it's just what's with
Yeah,
this
what the
thing?
heck is that exactly? So, accidental change. Smash something, anyone can use it. Unwieldy, totally unwieldy.
Hmm.
Um, but unwieldy is a thing. Like if unwieldy, how applicable it is. Basically, whenever you swing it, it could be unwieldy. So that's kind of a weakness tag that you're. It's almost going to be every time you use it. Um,
That's the kind of
Ike use.
that's the kind of
Sorry.
weakness tag like I would aim to like get rid of in a level up, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of. It could be a little, a little
Well,
burdensome. Um, totally. Okay, Ike says use it once a day. So yeah, this is something you can totally do. It's almost like one of those weakness tags, like the power tags. It says invincible, and then you are invincible, and the MC has to find different ways of giving you statuses like buried or chained and all these things. When you do something like once a day, just that's the weakness tag. You can use it once a day, and whenever you need it, and you've already used then you can mark attention, and you could do that from a narrative perspective. It just like I don't know, Kevin, like it's limited to a once a day thing. It's not like a wand.
yeah. Whenever I think of abilities that are like narratively like you can only use these once a day, like I just think of like the stop holding back move. Like that's an instant kind of like once a day, like I'm gonna go all out just this once kind of thing.
Yeah, or
Or
burning a tag. Yeah, like
yeah,
some
or burning a tag.
like
That's kind of what
Mateo
that
said.
mechanic is there for.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So we have the golden poster tube, and that's all done. Let me share it with you guys. And also, we can choose one more logos theme. What do you have in mind? What are we going to do to make this guy a little bit? I mean, he cloned himself. He has this poster tube that can grow really heavy. He is a mailman. But what's the edge? What are we going to bring in here? Either it could be Mythos, but it should probably be logos. It's going to be a little, um, yeah, a little different.
Hmm.
Let's think about it.
Well,
Window is asking, so weakness tags are once per session. No, they're not. You can use them if you want. Actually, if something was once per day, I would invoke that weakness tag whenever someone really needed to use it but couldn't because it was just once per day.
hmm.
So, um, there's another general advice question. How do you tag that requires a resource like Popeye with spinach? It's super simple. DeLong John, just invoke it when the person doesn't have it. So, like I said, you can invoke weakness tags as a -1. So if it's like a spell ingredients and you can still cast a spell without it, it just makes it less likely that you'll succeed or that it'll be powerful. Or you can invoke it as a flaw, and then it's just a hard move. Your action fizzles out, and the player gets to mark attention.
Hmm.
So you can do one of these two.
And there's a lot of player side advice in this character creation stream, but from like a from an MC perspective, these weakness tags are prompts for like great scenes with these characters. Like going back to like a resource tag, like let's say you have a rift with the mythos of Popeye, which is going to be my next character.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But it's like weakness tags need spinach for super strength. As an MC, that means like, okay, there needs to be at least one scene where someone attacks this rift and he doesn't have like spinach around him. Or maybe he's just like in his kitchen and then like a gangster like breaks in. And so now part of the scene is like this Popeye rift can't fight this gangster that just broke into his home because he's not prepared. Part of that fight is going to be this Popeye rift running to his kitchen to grab spinach. And if that roll fails, suddenly you have like because of the weakness tag, uh, now you have a very dramatic moment.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it's really just like narrative prompts. When you play City of Mist, you'll already know that you kind of have to switch into a narrative perspective and ask yourself, okay, what is this perspective? And sure, maybe sometime you can, you can use it as a -1, but you just kind of work with it, whether you to use it as a flaw or as just like power reduction for a certain action.
Let's see, what is the
So,
chat going with? I'm seeing personality, struggle, training for the martial arts and kung fu. Master prankster, I assume for like a personality kind of theme. Uh, let's see.
Light Animation said you could also go. Master really wanted him to be a passive. I think this is an element that could really bring depth to the character. Somehow bring in the master or the monk that he was, accompanying, and it's like almost like he's a trickster, but he gets always complicated with like these high-minded, noble people that have like these quests. So I kind of want to bring that into his character, maybe even from a more logo perspective. And Kevin, in your video, you're talking about the concept, talking about how to use those legendary aspects or parts of the mythos, translate them into logos themes, because that's really what's going to give it a little bit of a depth.
Hmm.
So yeah, so what happens when you're kind of a annoying person, but but you actually always end up helping out guys. What is that? Well, how would you guys kind of
I don't know what
reflect that?
the name for that would be. Like reluctant hero or like uh
Yeah, yeah.
well,
That's the
but
kind of
for,
a direction.
from like a logos kind of thing, that's almost someone who's like nosy. Uh, but it's it's strange because he's in this place where he's a mailman and he doesn't really want to get involved, but because he's a mailman and Power Tag knows his route, he also picks up all this information. So I'm
Yeah.
with what we've made of this character already, I'm imagining someone who's like trying to stay with their job but almost always hears about something weird going on. It's like
Yeah, I think so. Very annoying, but a caring for people he loves. Yeah, totally,
hmm
totally.
accidental
Accidental
hero
hero.
from
Yeah. But I like rely tag. I don't know if maybe a weakness tag, but he's like he really doesn't want to be there. He's not necessarily a nice guy. He's funny. He's like, but he wants to annoy the world and bug everyone. But he always ends up helping the good guys. So I don't know what it's like. But annoying savior. Yeah, that's
ooh,
yeah. Okay, let's go with that. An
annoying
annoying
savior, I like
savior.
it.
And that's gonna totally give it a little bit of flavor. So if you when you guys are creating characters, if you really want to take the time and you don't want a rapid thing, you want to kind of dive into it, try to find that angle on the character that will make it interesting for to play. Um, so something about empathy or understanding, absolutely. Yeah, he does represent the human mind. Light and say that absolutely. The monkey mind, the thing that moves from one thing to another and kind of like can't stop and wants to do more media and stuff. So let's take a look at a quick look at the personality theme and theme book, and then we are wrap it up.
These are
So
very useful
we
to have.
are printed theme books. Personality. Here we go. First question, guys. We have an annoying savior. And the first question is, what lies at the core of your personality? Is it annoying or is it savior? What do you guys think?
Honestly, this is
We
kind of like how to phrase that. Like, I can't not get involved, or like, not again, or something like that.
Yeah, totally. I can't not get involved. Is a great identity. I think
Gregory
I can't
Smallfoot
not
shit
get
disturber.
involved. What is it? Shit disturber.
I don't want to
Okay,
put that
yeah,
word for word because like mid game,
yeah,
I'm gonna hear that and be like, wait, what?
yeah. Shit stirrer, totally. That's totally him. I agree. I actually would use that, and I'll
You would
tell you
use
why.
that?
It's a great thing to invoke because you know the player will be in a way, when you're playing it, you're going to be rewarded for stirring up shit, basically. Excuse my language. So we're just gonna go with that, Gregory. We're just gonna go with
You should put the little like censorship like
yes,
hashtag and
definitely,
exclamation point there. There's
definitely using all that stuff. I don't have enough letters there, but let's see.
greetings,
Um,
greetings, Gustavo.
Yay, Gustavo, how's it going? Yeah, you know, taste for trouble, that's like a nice way of saying it. But basically, I would totally love my player or a player who's playing that to get a +1 whenever they start trouble and annoying people and just that's what he did. That's what he did throughout the first half of the book, so or the beginning.
Hmm.
Um, Okay, so that's kind of like the core of your personality. Um, what is the first thing people notice about you? What interpersonal skills? When you want, you can also process something totally different. Um,
That
how do you
one,
strive to improve yourself? So, what do you have in mind for?
when you want, you can also come across as like the Monkey King kind of had like two modes. It was like I'm a trickster playing pranks, and then there would be the points where he just like goes full serious face and is like, "Hey, I'm the Monkey King. If you don't leave us alone, I will whack you with my big stick."
Yeah, so like a threatening
Yeah,
tag. Yeah. What would you guys
like
call that?
serious mode, serious face, or something like that.
Yeah, so let's do that. We know that he has thing along the line, those lines, and we know that he has the ability to come across as threatening, put on a threatening face, and something like that. And for the weakness tag, we can say what happens when you let yourself go too far. Maybe people remember him and things like that. I'm not messing around here. Yeah, that's for a
Ooh,
threatening tag. But for a weakness tag, maybe something like what happens when you let yourself go too far. I would say, basically people remember me. Like
yeah, you're the
they
mailman.
still remember something like that.
You're the local
Remember.
mailman who's very annoying. Like you make an impression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, seriously offended, things like that. That's cool. Okay, guys. So let's take one last guy. He is pretty much done. We can tweak him a little bit, but now we basically have a mailman with the powers of Sun Wukong that has the 70 transferring, uh, creating clones of himself. He has the golden poster tube that can change weight and length, and he pole vaulting with. He's not a super fight oriented character. He can definitely use a lot of that fighting, straight up damage dealing tags. Um, and he has a bunch of social just to pretty much annoy everyone in the game and around the table probably as well. So you guys can have fun with this character. This concludes our character today. Just kind of like to look back at what we were also talking about, except for character creation. Look at your tags. Think about which scenes you're going to use them: investigation, action, and or social stuff like that. Um, Look at your tags to see if they stack or they, cover a lot of ground. You do want some of those tags to stack, not too many of them, to get more power when you're taking action. Think about your character. Try to take one of your Mythos features, turn it into logos. These are some of the things that we said today. Yeah, I agree with Window. Definitely more of a support character.
Hmm.
Tal says, could you create a rift of Dorian Gray? We're keeping the last time. Our next, do you want to tell them what our next stream is going to be about,
Oh yeah.
Kevin?
So we're going to be doing another sort of character creation stream, but we're coming at it from a new angle. What we got a lot of suggestions for riffs, but we also got a lot of suggestions for power sets. Specifically, how do you do these powers in City of Mist? How do you do all of these? Can I say one that got us
Yeah,
really
oh
excited?
yeah,
How do you do like luck based powers? Like I want a character who has a power that a coin flips and then heads something bad happens, tails something good happens, or vice versa. And so I love City of Mist because you can take those like obscure power sets and you can work with them in this game. And so next stream, which we currently have scheduled for, let me pull up my calendar just so I get the date right. June 27th, folks. We will be doing another character creation stream, really diving into like the Mythos mechanics and seeing what we can do with this game's engine.
yeah, absolutely. Power sets, luck, destiny, time travel, time moving, all of that stuff. We're going to be tackling the hardest power set stream, and we're maybe going to look a little into different uses of tags from a gameplay standpoint, like tags that you use to face danger, tags that you use to offset other statuses, tags that you use for different like gameplay aspects of tags, not just what scenes you use them, but how do you actually use them, from a kind of a little bit, I don't want to say min maxy, but more of a like
Crunchy.
a crunchy side of things. um so yeah, basically how to make a wild mage. Exactly, we're going to tackle all
Interesting.
those really weird power sets on our next stream. So we're wrapping up. If you guys have any final comments, feel free to shoot them over to us. If you have any questions, we're going to do maybe a couple more minutes and then we will say goodbye. So any questions we tackled today about character creation in general?
Remember, we got that delay, so gotta wait for the chat
Yeah,
to come
we're
up. But
waiting.
yeah, but real quick, let me
Do
just
Pandora.
do
Someone
Pandora.
said do Pandora.
Oh, Pandora's
Yeah,
box.
Pandora is awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
interesting.
power set. I totally agree. Like she has the power to summon, I guess, summon ish.
Hmm.
A lot of trouble for everyone. Just great.
Fun fact:
Hecate Child Rift. People want to see Hecate Child Rift
she,
again.
people want to see Hecate.
She is coming. It's one of our best creators. So guys, back Rye. He created Scarlet. He created the Avatar Isabella Aguilar, I think is her last name. So yeah,
See,
and he created some really cool things.
from
There
DeLong
we
John Silver for
go. And he
future.
also created Hecate. We had a lot of releases, so this was kind of delayed. But now that
Ooh,
Knights of Paint, and now that so has no one seen this
I
switch
haven't
over
seen
to it
this.
before?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys can see it now. Cool. There you go.
So, real quick, let's see here. DeLong John Silver for future. How do we submit ideas? Pretty much any sort of like comment section or anything we've got. We use like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. All the suggestions for this stream we compile from like all this. We're looking at all the stuff we're looking at. But yeah, definitely if you like really want to grab our attention, Facebook comments, the City of Mist Discord, YouTube, and like if you ever see a post where it's like submit ideas, you can submit to that post. You can send us a message. We read everything. Um, let's see what else we got going on here. Improvements are really cool, though I never played a game long enough to use anything. I know, right? You,
Yeah, no, they're really in the long play. They really come in, and Kevin, you're doing a video about improvement soon,
yep.
so that's gonna be cool.
Yep, the next video to come out for City of Mist, we're actually going to be talking about replacing themes and what comes of it, and also why you shouldn't be afraid of like changing a quarter of your character sheet instantly. How do
Yep,
you
absolutely.
how do you usually find a game? Can't seem to find many in LFG on Reddit. The first video I did for City of Mist is 5 ways you can find other City of Mist players. Like you said, there's the LFG board on Reddit. There's also the City of Mist Discord, where we have the LFG subcommunity. Roll20 and other VTTs have their own forums where you can find groups. But of course, the number one is volunteering to be the MC and getting all your friends in. And thankfully, City of Mist has a ton of stuff, including the starter box that can quickly get people in. I also like the character folios, the pre-gen characters, because not only do they have the character sheets already written out, but also they have like a little tab in the top right that gives a quick summary of the rules. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can find different City of Mist players, but that's in my years of TTRPG playing, I'm a forever DM. I'm usually the one bringing the group together. And then, once in the blue moon, someone gets inspired and be like, "Oh, hey, I would love to run a session in this game." And then that's when I pull out my 20 character sheets that I've never played.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you guys very much. We'll have one Gregory S is saying that he'd really love to see a video about how and when to use juice. I think that's a great
Ooh.
video and or stream about the many different you guys, thank you very much. We have a lot to say, we have a lot to share, but we'll do it in the next stream. Join us in June for the stream about power sets, and keep watching MC Kevin Carpenter on our streams.
And if you like hearing my
And
beautiful voice, you can hear me on my podcast, Rolling in the Mist. It's a City of Mist actual play podcast. Season 1 has been completed, and we're working on Season 2. Can't say much more, though.
you should definitely do that. And that's it, guys. Of course, as always, if you are able, willing, interested, support our game, grab some products in PDF. Some of the stuff we showed here, the rapid character stuff is on Shadows and Showdowns. Of course, the player guide has everything you need to create characters. And we also looked at a couple of our beautiful pre-gens that you can also grab as the character folio pack. Just go to our website, grab it on the store, and have a very good time.
Alrighty,
So
everybody. Have
enjoy the
fun.
game.